Hello my friends. Temporarily, we are away from the fruit and vegetable farms. Today, we are going to some waters of the United States to see how the fishermen here catch thousands of tons of seafood. According to statistics, in 2021, about 8.5 billion pounds of seafood was caught in the United States and brought in about $6.7 billion in revenue. Currently, this country only ranks 5th amongst the countries with the largest seafood catches in the world, and China is at the top of this list. The first place we will visit in this video is the southeastern coast of Alaska. Here, thousands of salmon are prepared to be loaded onto the boat. Mid-May to September is the best time to catch salmon in Alaska. Each year, about 9,100 boats flock to this area to fish, and about 34 of these boats will sink or have accidents. In 2021, about 223 million salmon have been caught in this sea, and the revenue of this fish is about $745 million. After thousands of salmon have entered the net, they will be pulled by these fishermen on a boat and transferred to the storage tank below the boat. If you have ever eaten salmon, let us know how you feel about the taste of this fish. According to statistics, in 2021, Norway is the country with the largest salmon production in the world, with 1.4 million tons, accounting for 37% of salmon production worldwide. In second place is Chile, with 778,000 tons. In the United States, salmon caught in Alaska accounts for 93% of salmon production in the country. The remaining salmon is mainly farmed in the waters of Washington and Maine. According to the Alaska Fishing Employment Center, trout fishermen typically earn about $17,000 within 3 months of working. The second place that we will visit in this video is the flooded fields in the state of Louisiana. Here, hundreds of crayfish traps have been used to trap this creature. Every day, the workers here will use fish as bait and set traps submerged in the water. After about 5 to 6 hours, these traps will be pulled onto the boat, and this is when thousands of crayfish are harvested. For many years now, Louisiana has always been the leading state in the country in terms of crayfish production. An estimated 125 million pounds of crayfish are harvested here each year. After the crayfish is dumped out of this trap, the fishermen will continue to bait the trap and put them under the water to prepare for the next harvest. Currently, in Louisiana, there are about 1,000 crayfish fishermen and about 1,300 crayfish farmers. After harvesting, millions of crayfish will be placed in these mesh bags and transported to the processing plant. Currently, in addition to Louisiana, crayfish also appear in states such as Texas and Mississippi. Here's what's going on at a crayfish packing plant. Here, millions of crayfish will be washed before being shipped to the shops. Next, we will go to the west coast of California to see how the process of catching thousands of tuna here works. First, these fishermen will throw thousands of dead small fish into the sea as bait. After noticing the appearance of tuna, The fishermen will then use fishing rods to pull them onto the boat. Seeing how they caught millions of tuna seems very simple. Here is the process of catching tuna on another boat. Here, thousands of tuna were hooked to the body by hooks, causing them to bleed a lot. However, this does not affect the quality of tuna meat when processed. Each year, about 5.2 million tons of tuna are caught worldwide, and the income generated from this industry is more than $40 billion. In the United States, the annual catch of tuna is about 12.8 million pounds. Would you rather eat tuna or salmon? Let us know how you feel about the taste of tuna. Currently, we are in the waters of Maine, where the process of catching thousands of lobsters is about to take place. The end of June to December every year is the time when lobsters are most active in the sea. Every day, lobster fishermen will use thousands of small fish as bait. Each lobster trap will use a bait bag like this. After the bait preparation is complete, hundreds of lobster cages will be released into the sea. Currently, there are about 4,500 licensed lobstermen in Maine. On average, each person has 800 traps, and the total number of lobster traps used in this sea is about 3.1 million traps. Three to 6 hours after these traps are released into the water, these fishermen will pull them up to harvest the fruits of their labour. On average, each trap can collect from 4 to 8 lobsters at one time. After catching, the claws of these lobsters will be tied with rubber bands, which makes them unable to attack each other and endanger the fishermen. Each year, lobster fishers in Maine collect about 132 million pounds of lobster, and the average price for lobster here is about $25 per pound. Next, we will go to the waters off the state of Missouri to see how the process of catching millions of catfish and pink catfish here works. Thousands of catfish, after being pulled onto the boat, will be transferred to the storage cellar below. Here, workers will clean their organs before storing them on ice. This is the process of harvesting pink catfish. The harvesting of these pink catfish is also similarly done to catfish. For the next part of the video, we will go to pig farms in the United States to see how the process of raising millions of pigs happens. Currently, the United States has more than 63,000 pig farms of different sizes, and the number of pigs is about 72.2 million heads. Most large-scale pig farms are concentrated in states like Iowa, Minnesota, North Carolina, and Florida. This is the process of inseminating cows on a farm in Iowa. Insemination time for each sow will last from 15 to 20 minutes. Currently, Iowa is the state with the largest number of pigs in the country, with about 23.3 million pigs distributed on 5,400 farms. About 115 days after insemination, hundreds of sows at this farm have started breeding. Every year in the United States, 40.5 million piglets are born, and about 1.5% of them die shortly after birth. The piglets at this farm will be exclusively breastfed for 1 month before being fed other foods. In recent years, the United States has always ranked third in the list of regions with the largest number of pigs in the world. The first place is China with 449 million, followed by the European Union with 142 million. Currently, most pig farms in the United States use corn, soybeans, along with other kinds of growth feed as feed for pigs. According to the United States Department of Agriculture, in 2021, up to 97 million tons of corn and 38 million tons of soybeans are used to feed 72.2 million pigs. At 2 months of age, these piglets will be fed the same as adult pigs. When the piglets are 3 months old, they will be separated from their mother and the fattening process begins. In addition, a number of 3-month-old pigs will also be sold to restaurants in Iowa for meat because many customers prefer to eat pork when it's at this stage of development. Currently, most pigs living on large-scale farms are locked up for their entire life. Free-range pig rearing only takes place on small-scale farms with a maximum of 500 pigs. Every week, the workers at this pig farm will put dry straw in the pigsty to reduce the moisture caused by the pig's feces and urine. Most of the pigs here are considered mature and eligible for meat when they reach 6 months of age and have an average weight of 250 pounds. This is the wastewater treatment area of a pig farm with more than 4,000 pigs in Iowa. Wastewater after treatment will be used to irrigate corn and soybean fields next to this farm. Before looking at the pork processing process, we will go to a free-range pig farm in Arkansas with about 430 pigs. Every day, these pigs will be free to roam in this forest and do whatever they want. These model pig farms do not appear much in the United States, and the pork produced on these farms is always out of stock. Next, we'll see how these workers transport thousands of pigs to the pork processing plant. The pigs that are eligible for the meat harvest will be loaded onto trucks. This is the first and last trip of their lives. Currently, there are 2,785 pig slaughter facilities in the United States. On average, 1,100 pigs are slaughtered every hour across the country. After being transported by truck to the pork processing plants, the pigs will be anaesthetized with carbon dioxide before moving on to the next stage. According to statistics, in 2021, pork production in the United States is 27.3 million pounds and contributes to $57 billion and to the GDP of the country. How do you feel about the pork processing going on in this video? Let us know what you think in the comments section of the video. Goodbye, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.